Maybe. Okay, we're gonna play some elves. We 4-1 our first league with elves. I think it's time to come back to it, especially playing second Soulless Jailer and Harshman toward the sideboard as core targets to beat Nadu. I end up cutting the fourth Leafcrown Visionary for the fourth Eladamri. Eladamri was really impressing, liking 2 Disciple of Freyalise. Don't want to play any more non-forest in the deck. So we had a forest. We'd be able to keep this hand, maybe. At the very least, we'd probably keep if this was a forest. This is a forest. Ton of Vohas in the Elves meta. White gives access to super stuff. I mean, I like Voha. I think the card's okay. I think it's maybe better to not play it. Put back second Symbiote. It's a very good hand in Legacy. Not sure in Modern. It very much depends on if this Llanowar Elf lives. With the content counts, you get free points to play in leagues. They give you like a finite amount at the beginning of the month. Saw Russ mention Yavimaya list to bounce Freyalise over things. We've talked about Yavimaya. I think that you just help your opponent more often with Yavimaya than you get to bounce your own 6-drop. Would be my guess, but it could be fine to play. Pretty sure we're supposed to Eladamri here. Let's throw one. Okay, Heritage Druid is the best card to see here. So, good start. I think we can play the Visionary here. Now we're a little stuck. So I want to, in theory, be able to bounce this and replay this, but I would like to tap it to the Heritage Druid first. So I think I'm going to go Quirion Ranger, untap an elf, make 3 mana, then bounce the Visionary, then replay the Visionary. Yav with fetches to keep on top. Maybe you could play Yavimaya. I think Yavimaya is not that bad, but like I don't know if you're up against Tron and like you play Yavimaya and they Urza's Mine into Ancient Stirrings, it can be really, really gross. It might just still be fine. Okay, so let's untap the Llanowar Elves, bounce the Visionary. Opponent gets tired and sacks here. Nettle Sentinel underneath the forest. Ugh, not the land. Okay, so we'll see how dead we are, but we shouldn't be that dead. I guess it's a problem that we can't really beat the ring here. Just going 0-2. Yeah, we played against 2 graveyard decks in a row with no graveyard hate in our sideboard, so not exactly the deepest, but kind of wanted to get to Elves. Might circle back to Jeskai. Might build the Gifts build of Jeskai. That will do it. Would nice to win the die roll. I did win the die roll, right? Would have been nice to win the game. Okay, we're gonna bring in the Magus of the Moon, the Reclamation Sage, and the Collector Ouphe. I don't think anything else. Maybe the Revoker. Maybe not the Revoker. I'm gonna cut the Visionary. Are we tilted or something? There was just honestly, there's a guy in the chat who hurt my feelings. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm shaking it off though. I almost want to cut the Pendelhaven. What's the Vandal for? Against interactive decks that bring in Curse Totem, being able to chord for Masked Vandal is kind of nice, where like you can kind of rely on your stuff to be in the yard. Got 4th Eladamri. We're on the play here. Okay, on the play. I click the keep button. Turn 2 Titania is like kind of what you need. Going into energy this weekend, other than Ruby Storm and Nadu, what decks would recommend being prepared for? I mean, there's just gonna be like a lot of random stuff besides those two decks. Like, I don't know what you're playing, but I would recommend like the Wizards list probably if you're not gonna play one of those two or Jeskai something. No, I don't think you want to play Flare in your Elves deck. Any exciting Assassin's Creed spoilers? I mean, what's also so funny about this whole Assassin's Creed dialogue is we haven't even looked at all of them, but the Boros card that this Cassandra putting the Spear of Leonidas into play, I think looks pretty cool. We'll have to go through it at some point. Wait, double Devourer. So I do remember there being a bunch of goofy assassins. I remember the Leonardo da Vinci was pretty cool. It's already spoiled a while ago, though. Temporal Trespass reprint, very flavorful. Raven Clan War Axe. Enters the battlefield, search your library for a card named Ivor. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Do we have that one yet? This one, so it puts 7/6 into play. Put a Saga or a land. Okay. Not playing that one. So they didn't play an artifact turn 1, so let's go Titania, Nettle Sentinel. Do our best to pop off next turn, or at the very least Chord for a Magus of the Moon. 4 damage to any target, 2 assassins. Whenever assassin deals damage to, or whenever attacks, make an assassin that's tapped and attacking. 2 mana, draw 3. If an assassin's dealt combat damage, they're not going to be playable. Tap, pay 4. Look at the tap, pay 4, sack. Look at the target opponent's hand. Exile those cards face down. You may play those cards this turn. Mana of any type to cast them. Until end of turn, whenever you play a land or a spell that way, the owner draws a card. The beginning of next end step. Return exile cards to owner's hand. Activate only as a sorcery. Card's pretty cool. I think we should probably just leave Crown Visionary and then Chord for Magus. So it's 4, 5, 6. We can attack with the Sentinel. Do an upkeep in case they have Dismember. Going to game 3. I think we're just running this again. Thank you, Lurky, for the 5. Why not keep? Just in case they have a Dismember in their hand, we want them to tap their mana on their turn and not my turn. Turn 2 Priest of Titania is really important. The third land and the second Ezuri are pretty bad in this hand. I'm going to go ahead and click the mulligan button. Guess I'm going to click the keep button. My opponent kept 7, which is probably bad news on the draw against Tron. No Devourers this time. No artifacts either. Well, let's see if they have Natty Tron again. Into All is Dust again. Second Nettle Sentinel lets me maybe pop off next turn. Probably would pop off. There's Natty Tron. Rough. Dodge Stone. Can't dodge all his dust. This hand is good if it draws Quirion Ranger or a land off the top. Or if we make it to turn, or if we're playing against a non-interactive Giganta deck like a Ruby Storm. This hand's good, so I'm gonna give it a go. Was there a reason for dropping Shadow Sage in favor of Ezuri? I mean, Shadow Sage is mostly good for beating the Ring, and there are not that many Ring decks at the moment. So if Ring is popular, you should play it. If not, I don't think so. You could also sideboard it against Ring decks. Should we be running Boseiju? The problem with Boseiju is you just need a lot of forest in your Quirion Ranger deck, and I think we're kind of maxed out on non-forests. So we get to pop off a little bit. I'm hoping this is... I mean, I guess they could kill me turn 2, but... If this is Ruby Storm, we'll get to untap with our Priest of Titania, probably. Usually having Eladamri and Leaf Crown Visionary in play is a formula for like drawing your whole deck here, especially with this much mana. Unfortunately, or fortunately, or good, not fortunately, their prowess, and they've surveilled the lava dart into the yard. Oh, but fortunately they don't have another land. Weird. Our draw here is also weird. So I can go Leaf Crown Visionary, float a green, untap, and then I can chord for another Nettle Sentinel. Oh, this is so weird. I think I'm just gonna cast Eladamri, and then I can at least make 3 mana by casting the Visionary. But let's hope that we have and I can also chord with. Okay, we thankfully found an elf on top. We played some of the Hideaway deck. You should be able to find some of it on YouTube if you want to see that. Monkey the Bubblers, Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Let's go Chord of Calling, tap the Symbiote, tap the Nettle Sentinel, tap the 2 mana, get another Nettle Sentinel here. Kind of anticlimactic. If I cast this Leaf Crown Visionary, it's kind of bad against the Lava Dart, but... Oh wait, I get to bounce my Mystic here. No, I get to keep going. Sorry. Because we get to bounce the Mystic back into our hand to cast and draw a card. And then I think we still have our land, so we even get to shuffle off the Heath potentially. Seems like we pretty likely to get there at this point. Although actually the actual winning the the game with Elves takes a while. Cycle Eladamri. See a lot of people playing less than 4 Nettle Sentinels in the deck, which has been really surprising me because like you just really want to have multiple Nettle Sentinels in play. Yeah, this is turn 3. This is turn 3. Elves, I think theoretically could win on turn 2, but is almost always a turn 3 deck. Okay, so we're up a game against Prowess. I'm going to bring in a Spellskite, a Soulless Jailer, and both endurances. And then let's cut the... I think we cut the Visionary. I'm not even sure the Visionary is good. Probably trimming a Quirion Ranger, trimming an Elvish Mystic is something that I think is fine. Trim the 4th Eladamri. Can maybe trim the 2nd Ezuri. I basically never do that, but I think against Prowess it's probably okay. Because like you don't even really need to kill with Ezuri. You can just make a gigantic board in this matchup. I'd remove the Snap Flame part of the title, so I was just left over. Yeah, you have to have like double Nettle Sentinel Heritage Druid or something like that. And then get pretty lucky on your hits. I got a mulligan 6. Put back 2nd Eladamri, I guess. This Elves turn 2 would involve a 20 power mana dork. Probably a 20 power Nettle Sentinel. I guess in theory, mana dork would work. I'm still not a big fan of the Surveillant and Prowess. I think it's a card you can play. Harsh Mentor. It's pretty interesting against elves. I do play a lot of fetch lands, and it stops my it deals me damage off Quirion Ranger, off the Spellskite, off the Ezuri, off the... Not really the Eladamri, you don't use that one that much. But yeah, but I guess I'll also play this Quirion Ranger. And I'm going to try to block. Why Harsh Mentor? This is the best card in the format against Nadu. Any chance to update Primal Prayer? Just a bad card, not worth it? Well, maybe a bad card and not worth it. I have not liked it very much. I have not liked it very much. Might just be bad. I have not been able to figure out a build that looks good. I think playing Primal Prayers with Amtraptor and Imperial Recruiter in just a green-red shell scene is kind of nice, but I haven't really been able to figure out. Like I'd love to be just normal, just green-red, kind of like what we did with Aetherworks Marvel, where you have the ability to Shifting Woodland copy Primal Prayers, and then go off. And then you have Amtraptor and Imperial Recruiter as like kind of your main engines. Maybe you play Greenbelt Rampager, but I think Rampager is kind of bad. But maybe you play Greenbelt Rampager. But I'm having a hard time figuring out a way to just kill your opponent and stay in just green red. Missing Shaman of the Pack seems better than Ezuri. I've played a lot of elves, and so like one thing is Shaman of the Pack is not better than Ezuri. Ezuri just kills your opponent. really, Ezuri is crazy. Ezuri is crazy good. It's Wrath Protection. But also, if you don't play Shaman, your mana is a lot better. Like Shaman is not a mono green card like Ezuri is. But Shaman is also kind of like only good when you have enough elves to dome your opponent. I actually even think Shaman is worse than the 4-drop. There's a 4-drop that's Shaman of the Packs, but it can also gain you life instead of just dealing your opponent damage, and that card also can get through the ring. Okay, so after like 2 minutes, my opponent decides to attack. Any brews with red counterbalance? Not yet. I do want to cast that card though. It seems fun. Yeah, Skim Far. So yeah, the fact that card can get through the ring is pretty nice. I got the turn 2 on the draw against Mill. Nice. Very jealous. Especially killing the Mill player. Okay, so they Mutagenic Growth. Chord of Calling's a fun draw though. Start with Eladamri. I think I'm just going to hold the Chord up. I might want to get Spellskite if my opponent has Bolt, despite them having the Harsh Mentor. Spellskite is also good against Mutagenic Growth if I block it and they have another one. Shaman's good with Symbiote. Yeah, I know Shaman is good with Symbiote, but it's not very easy for you to have double black on a turn to cast Shaman of the Pack twice. But Ezuri is also like super mandatory in Elves. Like to suggest cutting Ezuri for Shaman is just wrong in my opinion. Okay, so let's go. Gonna take some damage here for sure. I hit land drop, but the problem is if I activate my Quirion Ranger, my opponent can respond with Bolt and stop me from being able to court for Spellskite. So I have to respond to Bolt. I'm supposed to do this. Could be dead. Why did we not just get Lord instead of Spellskite? I wanted to be able to redirect another mutagenic growth here. So like this is why, although my life total is going to be pretty dang low. I'm going to 1 at the moment. But I get to eat the Harsh Mentor. But unfortunately, I just have a land on top. No way to shuffle. No way to block there. 1-2. Gonna go to game 3. The idea was being able to eat a mutagenic growth. I'll do this. Okay. Game 3 on the play. But also getting Leafcrown Visionary makes me more likely to be able to combo. Did you just pay 4 life to save 2 off mutagenic growth? No, I'm paying 4 life to save my Eladamri. They targeted their Harsh Mentor with mutagenic growth, not the Slickshot show off. So their Harsh Mentor is becoming a 4/4 against my 3/3. So I'm making my creature live in combat. So we play the Flare 6 deck. We did play it. We got combo killed a lot. Probably abandoned it a little too early. Disciple's kind of painful. I mean, this is just not really a hand you can mulligan. Yeah, Harsh Mentor the side for Nadu. Opponent's on the mill to 6. Kind of nice this hand can be a little bit more resilient to Lava Dart. Yeah, the Bruise with Party Thrasher. We 4-1 like with the mono red Asmo deck with Dart Party Thrasher yesterday. I thought the deck looked pretty good. Okay. Just main phase discharge. I thought that deck looked pretty good, and I have some more like kind of out there builds that I want to get to. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get to them. Channeler, 4 cards left after this. So see if they have the 3rd burn spell on their mold to 6, because I'm going to get to, I think, just slam this Eladamri. Kind of funny to keep drawing Forest every turn. Save my Leafcrown Visionary. Or sorry, Disciple of Freyalise. Don't know where that came from. 3rd bolt. Also, do they have a 4th bolt? They might have a 4th bolt. They also have a Harsh Mentor. Down to just 1 card in their hand. Your turn. 2 cards in their hand now. One of them is just an Arid Mesa. Gonna Surveil first. If they attack with the Harsh Mentor, we should probably assume Mutagenic Growth. They keep a card on top. The last card's a Swift Spear. Alright, so obviously cast the Priest. Okay, we're going. So if I activate this Quirion Ranger, we get a little god. I think I'm just going to shuffle here. No, take 2 from this also. It's probably correct for me to play this Soulless Jailer. I know I take 2 more damage, but this stops Questing Druid and Underworld Breach, and also gives me another 0/4 blocker, and my life total... I'm at a spot where like it's mostly Questing Druid and Underworld Breach as cards that can even kill me. So the fact that this just, again, negates that. It's pretty nice. Also have the option to maybe go a little bit deeper, which we did do, which is awesome. And now we're just going to pass back. I have one more of these in the deck as a way to gain some life next turn if that ends up being important. How did the perk deck feel? It felt kind of interesting and powerful. I feel like the Woodlands aspect of the deck was better than the Marvel stuff. So like I like the formula of having powerful 4-mana permanent you've built this green-red deck around with Raptor, with all the energy cards, with the ability for Shifting Woodland to copy that powerful... Wait, they kept Bauble on top? Why would they not just want to graveyard the Bauble and get Delirium last turn? I guess that was a punt. With the ability to copy that card with Woodland. And so you can do that with Marvel. And what's cool about Marvel is you get to play some other big stuff to copy, like your Emrakul, like your Cityscape Leveler. But you can also... It also just may be better to do that in a different shell, you know what I mean? So not sure yet. Okay, so opponent is probably very dead here. Gonna do my best to not activate too many Quirion Rangers. But it's so tempting. I'll probably activate one with the Priest of Titanias. Cast this first, which untaps the Nettle Sentinel but doesn't trigger the Leaf Crown Visionary. Oh, sorry, I guess I can't untap anything yet because that would require me to tap the Priest of Titania, which I'm going to be tapping normally. Yeah, it's not that often you get to untap with Priest, but when you do, they are cooked. I think I'm going to say no to this. This way I can maybe just get a little bit deeper before I tap the Priest. So now I can tap Ezuri. Wait, was I saying no? I didn't mean to say no. Okay, hold on. Sunscreen's deck is a flush. I think the Boros card that puts the 3-mana equipment into play, I think that card is pretty dang playable. But I don't think there's not gonna be much though. Yeah, we could court for the MDFC Elf. We're gonna end up courting for Ezuri though and winning the game. It's gonna, we'll see if my opponent ever does anything. But no, it's small set. Was never gonna be super impactful. Yeah, still not drawing, so I can use this mana. I just want to make as much mana as possible with the Priest. I thought I always yes to the Sentinel, but I guess I did not. Historic Matters Land? I don't remember that one, but I'd love to take a look. So this is going to trigger the Warmasters, and then we can tap these to Convoke. Yeah, I think it's for the best that Assassin's Creed is not going to be a wildly impactful to modern set. I think maybe I was thinking I was saying no to Leaf Crown Visionary, but I was saying no to Nettle Sentinel on that earlier turn. Okay, so let's tap the Leaf Crown, or the Priest of Titania. Chord for Ezuri. I guess I can only activate Ezuri 2 times. So I think what I should probably do is get to a point where I'm casting Ezuri 1 time. Or sorry, I've activated Ezuri 2 times, and then I get my other one of these. And then gain enough life to keep going. Which is gonna, I guess, actually not gonna take that much time now that we just 5 this immediately. Maybe not that much time is a funny thing to say. So to draw this, I need to play this Eladamri. Is the Animus alongside Blue Cauldron? I need to reread the Animus again. It's just been so long since I've seen the cards, and I think they're all a little different from when I did see them. Again, my plan here is to activate Ezuri twice, Chord for the 6-drop. Although maybe just once. This card helps a little bit too. We get to gain a little bit of extra life. There's also just not much reason for me to not keep casting stuff from the top of the library first and like continue to build up my mana. Okay, so let's go Chord of Calling. Tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy turn. Okay, Disciple of Freyalise, this trigger on the stack, activate Ezuri 1 time. Seems like 1 time is just a good way for me to play around the last card being Bolt, which it might be. Definitely might be. We'll sacrifice one of the Warmasters, probably. And then we'll be able to gain 7. And I can even, like, bounce my Disciple, and then just, like, keep gaining more life, too. So yeah, kind of like 1 Shaman. It's not necessary, but worth the added playability, especially when playing paper. So the thing about Shaman is it makes these turns a lot faster. But we are still going to win on these turns every time. And if Shaman was a mono green card, I would just be so down. But people always say, I want to add Shaman, but we still just win the same turn. It just takes forever. Symbiote, untap Priest. Well, the thing is that there's Harsh Mentor in play. Which is also like, Harsh Mentor makes this a lot harder than it has to be. So we're playing around this lightning bolt, and then my opponent bolts themselves and concedes because we played around the bolt. So you know, Mentor makes it a little bit more complicated, right? It has a lot of very good top decks. This Llanowar Elves is really important to the integrity of this hand, so I think I'm actually going to try to protect it by loose leading on Symbiote. I hope we top deck kind of well. Was that bolt number 4? I think it was bolt number 3, and they'd also Galvanic Discharged. Up against Mill. So no Emrakul's, but I think the Mill matchup is just kind of reasonable, and we also have Endurance. Yeah, so the win con if you don't have haste is being able to untap your creatures that are not summoning sick with Symbiote and Quirion Ranger, and then using Ezuri to pump them. Which is very reliable, but it just takes a while to eventually start netting mana as you draw your deck. No Emrakul deck that can just cast it. Well, I mean, it just feels like it's a little unnecessary against Mill when you have the Endurances, and you probably just have a pretty reasonable Mill matchup as it is. But you could play an Emrakul. If we didn't have Endurance, I'd play an Emrakul. Okay, at risk of getting Archive trapped, I'm going to crack my fetch land. And we get to attack for a lot next turn. 2 this turn. I don't think I want to get in for 1 more damage by bouncing my forest. What are we testing in this deck? Well, there's a lot of MH3 cards, Priest of Titania, Wirewood Symbiote, and Eladamri. And then we also have some new tech. We have some new tech with the Chord of Calling Silver Bullets. We also have the 6-drop land. Sacks a creature, gains life, draws cards. What if you don't have forest to keep untapping? Well, I think you fizzle, I guess, but you also have Symbiote that can bounce elves to untap instead. It's pretty hard to fizzle once you get to a certain point. Is Eladamri making a difference? Yeah, Eladamri is a big deal. The fact that it can cast your sideboard cards off the top and cast Symbiote, and also occasionally put the 6-drop into play is pretty good. Okay, so we're going to untap this, bounce the Ezuri. Be kind of funny if they were trying to draw step surgical me here. But I'm going to try to chord for a Priest of Titania. I guess I'm just going to do a main phase so they can't drown me. Why didn't we bounce a land and regenerate? Ezuri could not regenerate itself. Ezuri would be so fucking broken if it could regenerate itself. Okay, down to 20 cards in my deck. Opponent is super duper dead. Unless they push my Titania, maybe. They might. I think they're still dead even if they push the Titania. Delph, for 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Could do more damage, but just, this will be way more than enough. Mill running Deluge? I hope not. Card's pretty hard to beat. Is Harshminter just for Nadu and Yogg? Yeah. 2 Endurance in. I could maybe have Curse Totem. I'm going to bring in a Rex Sage. Yeah, no longer have the flutes in the board. I'm sure the 4th Eladamri, the Elvish Visionary, probably. Sky for drown removal. I think their target removal is just like not that hard to beat. Like I like Spellskite against red decks where the Spellskite can live. I don't really care for it as much against here. We have endurance, and I think we have a good mill matchup too. So I have neglected the Emrakul today. Grinding Breach with Tamiyo, Emery, and Stable Amulets energy package has any legs? Yeah, that could be good. Yeah, Yogg is historically this deck's worst matchup. Allosaurus Ship would be playable. Yeah, it would be playable. You can actually do kind of an interesting thing where you play Chalice. I was doing this in Timeless. You play Chalice with Allosaurus Shepherd and Cavern of Souls, and then if Chalice on 1 is really good like it is in Timeless, it's kind of a fun plan. Is Scales dead? I don't think Scales is dead. Scales is probably decent. So I think I'm going to go play Warmaster this turn, and then I can go Leaf Crown Visionary into Chord for a Priest of Titania. In which can sink the mana into the Warmaster, maybe. Is Domain dead? Domain is maybe just like super underplayed. I would be pretty surprised if Domain was like just completely unplayable post MH3 after being, a pretty good deck pre MH3. Yeah, someone was playing Nadu Scales against us today. Nadu actually seemed pretty dang reasonable in that deck. Maybe very interested in building Elves. Is it expensive on paper or pretty budget? I don't know. I just build decks on Magic Online, and I don't play almost any paper these days. Heritage Druid is an interesting top deck. I'm going to not fetch here. I'm going to just play Disciple of Freyalise so that I'm not as weak to a Archive Trap. And then, am I still getting Priest of Titania? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to chord. Yeah, but I want to chord on my opponent's turn. So opponent very clearly has a drown. I made an Omniscience Common New Land. Seems great. Need to test it against new decks. Yeah. I'd love to see your list, I guess, if because I haven't been liking my builds very much. We Chord now, we can attack with Sentinel. Yeah, but I want the ability to Chord on end of turn, not like let them know that they're just super dead. I guess it's like pretty telegraphed. Also, how many Priest of Titanias do I have left? I have only one. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to do it now. Well, maybe I'm just supposed to, like, because I still have one endurance also. Could have tried to go for that. It seems okay to just do this. Three steps ahead is kind of interesting. Like, it's not good with Omniscience in play, but it's good to set up. No chance this card's playable. We only have 7 hits. It's like worse than Tygam scheming almost. Should almost definitely have Traverse over Expedition map. Kind of like the one with the multiverse. Ah, Toxic Deluge. Unfortunately is in their deck. Why not one guy's Blessing Inside? Well, we have Endurance. I promise I have a lot of hate cards for Mill, but we have 2 Endurances. I think we're okay. Yeah, it looks pretty fun. Yeah, I know. I was also having. You should play like Balahi Archaeologist for sure in this deck. Archaeologist was so good when I was playing it, but yeah, the Emrakul plan was tough for sure. Oh yeah, Benevolent Rumbling would be a lot better than Scout the Borders too. Yeah, but I kind of want to go back to like shifting Woodland to copy Primal Prayers is kind of interesting to me. Or shifting Woodland copy Aether Revolt. I don't know which direction's better. But I in general I liked the Marvel idea. I think in practice just the card Aetherworks Marvel is not that good. But the idea of just having like this kind of shell where Raptor can hit your 4-drops pretty well, and then Woodland can copy those 4-drops. If we can figure out a loop that's just in red green that wins with Imperial Recruiter, could be good. Could splash white for Guide of Souls, but I just am not loving the Guide of Souls stuff. If you could search up Greenbelt Rampager off Recruiter, it'd just be so much easier. Okay, so we do have the extra lands because of the Disciples. Let's keep. Yeah, I mean Woodland's been pretty powerful. It's just kind of, I think it's a good way to supplement a plan. Like it's like Woodlands is really good at Nadu. I think it's going to be good in Yawgmoth. But you're wanting it to more so supplement like your plan where you have the card you're built around, and then in theory you have some graveyard synergies, and the Woodland just being able to copy your payoff is pretty sick. So I mean, if they just have turn 3 Deluge against me, maybe we just lose. And maybe we could rebuild. I'm gonna crack the fetch, see if we can find anything else to do. So they do Archive Trap. Goodbye, Quirion Ranger. Okay, I'm going to decline to cast my Nettle Sentinel into Toxic Deluge. I'm just going to pass with the intention of bouncing my Heritage Druid if my opponent does have Deluge. Also, both of my endurances have already been milled, which is less than ideal. Oh, okay, we win. I think. Wow, didn't get deluged today. Or again today. Okay, so let's play Nettle Sentinel first. Doesn't feel like we need to be drawing cards yet. Could draw a card there. How many Ezuris do I have? I see one Ezuri's in the graveyard. If I don't have Ezuri, we'd have Warmaster as like extra effect like this. You're gonna brew up a Just Guy Gifts list. I think I am. I think it seems so sick. I think it's almost definitely worse than being on Ring or Snap Flame, which is, unfortunate or whatever, but it is probably like a little too sweet to say no to. Yeah, sorry, I keep thinking I'm saying no to the Leaf Crown Visionary. Yeah, Eladamri, big upgrade to Realm Walker for sure. Okay, so we'll go tap 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm pretty sure I have another Ezuri in the deck. Not actually 100% sure. I bet they have the Deluge in their hand and they just missed their land. That's gonna make me think about it some more. Because right now I only have one untapper, but I can chord for another one. There we go. I'm just weighing how long this turn needs to be versus making sure I can kill my opponent, obviously. But being able this will let me just tap the Priest of Titania for 1,000,000 and then untap two attackers. Chord for third sentinel. It's just you could do that, but they're just very dead. I would probably sooner chord for a third untapper so I could like either activate the Ezuri a few more times. My opponent says yawn. You can concede any time. But you're also dead right now. Good news. I am. You have to win this turn and wipe your board. If you hit your third land, you mean. my rivalry with the mill players continues. Love the Flame Wars. Oh, accidentally. Warmastered. Untap this. Bounce. Nettle Sentinel. My opponent says I slow rolled the land. Okay. You did not. That's no way that's true. So on the play against the Giganta deck, if this is Ruby Storm, I want to keep. If this is anything else, I don't. I click the keep button. Frog Echo with Bowmaster. I mean, the problem is you're gonna like set up for your Bowmaster Narset Days and doing, and they just Bowmaster your Bowmaster and kill you. I've thought about it again. I would love for it to be something, but it just sounds a little bit, you know, more than nothing, less than something. Is in fact Ruby Storm, and so having like Wirewood Symbiotes with the Priest, pretty nice against Ruby Storm. Might be a little light on juice. See? Could also die on turn 2 because it's Ruby Storm. Also, we have the Soulless Jailers to court for. We do not want to see a ritual. Okay, just a Ruby. Now I gotta go off. Drew a land. So let's cast Llanowar Elves. Cast Eladamri. Cast Elvish Mystic. Now I need to play one of my symbiotes. Let's untap the Priest, obviously. Bounce one of these Summoning Sick Elves. Tap this for 4 mana. Gonna need to play another one of these. Play this one first. Tap for 5. Cast the Elvish Visionary. Let's say no to this. Looking for a Heritage Druid, Quirion Ranger, or another symbiote. There's another symbiote right on time, making it way more likely to go off here. I'm gonna bounce the Elvish Visionary with the symbiote. So untap my Priest, bounce the Elvish Visionary, tap for 6 mana, cast Nettle Sentinel. There's another symbiote. I have plenty of ways to reset the top of my library in my hand, so I think I'm just going to prioritize the extra mana for now. But seeing there's a brick on top, I need to... Oh, I can't draw off. Sorry, I can't draw with that, obviously. I can just draw with this. Okay, so then let's go Elvish Mystic, draw a card. Untap Priest, bouncing one of these. Tap for 8 mana. I think we Visionary? Leafcrown Visionary over Elvish Visionary right now. There's a Quirion Ranger to keep the ball rolling. Still nothing? I mean, I think at this point we're going to win the game very easily. Yeah, I don't even need a Heritage Druid, just untapping the Priest is going to get the job done. Yeah, I agree Nadu is pretty, or Elves is going to be pretty good as long as there's not a lot of sweepers. And the ability to like chord for efficient hate cards seems pretty nice too. Alright, so now we get to really, really pop off. Who is the Storm deck now? Okay, bounce a Forest, untap the Priest. Although, I guess one problemo here is that we've already used all 4 of our Quirion Rangers. Oh no. Did I mess this up? Because I've already used all of my Quirion Rangers. So I think I've actually fizzled here, right? I've already played my land this turn. Or have I played my land this turn? Yeah, the problem is you have to bounce a forest to use Ranger. And I don't. Can I play a forest? You have one symbiote left? I don't think I do. I think they're all in play right now. Yeah, one, two. I have four in play right now. Three Nettle Sentinels infinite. So the problem is I need to untap my creatures to attack with them here. I don't have Shaman of the Pack or anything. And because I've already, and usually what you do is you use a symbiote or a Quirion Ranger, but I've already maxed out on that here. Ranger cannot untap them again because I have no forest for me to bounce. And I don't have a haste thing because usually this is enough. Yeah, I definitely don't have a symbiote activation. Why not just pass the turn here? I mean, I have to pass the turn here, but I'm going to lose probably. But I mean, I have to pass. I'm going to have to pass the turn, so that's what we'll do. I don't have a Dryad Arbor. I don't know if this is a good enough argument for Dryad Arbor. Gain a ton of life might be good. Yeah, I guess going until I can chord for my other until I find a Chord of Calling. I guess this makes sense because I can theoretically gain a ton of life in response. We played against two Graveyard decks in a row with Jeskai with no Graveyard hate in our list. Predictably lost. Yeah, as soon as I find a Chord of Calling, we're gonna stop. Although if we find we draw the 6-drop before the Chord of Calling, all hope is lost, I guess. Yeah, I mean leaving mana up on my opponent's turn isn't very hard because we have a million Quirion Ranger activations or Wired Symbiote activations with Priest of Titania. Won't Freyalise kill me? I mean, it depends on when I find it. And unfortunately, it's here on top. So is why don't I splash black? I mean, you could. So there's pros and cons to both. You can splash black, and then you can avoid the situation, which is pretty reasonable. And you can also have a better mana base with less win more cards, which to me also feels pretty dang reasonable. Court Raid. I don't have a Craterhoof Behemoth in the deck, chat. Ezuri is our Craterhoof Behemoth. I swear this never happens. Want to just gain 60 now? Well, I can't gain 60 because I only have 18 cards in my deck. But yes, I'm going to gain a lot of life. Although this is maybe just like prolonging the inevitable. But yes, that is what I'm doing. I am just going to gain a lot of life and then pass. So right now, I'm just going to gain 10. Also, I guess did I miss? I guess I must have missed my second land drop this game. Okay, so 27. They could probably just kill me though. Want a Shia too spicy as a core target? I think a little too spicy, yeah. Probably should have kept the forest. I mean, it's I have the 4 range. I'm not gonna need the forest for next turn. I'm just gonna die. I also think I could have like sequenced a bit better to not mess up here. Like I think that I realized it like a second too late, but it was possible I could have just been digging harder for Heritage Druid and leave like the last untapped I activated my Quirion Ranger on the Priest of Titania, and then I realized that I would not be able to attack again like the second I did it. I don't know. Again, with peace and love, all the chat going, let's just have all these other core targets for these situations. Like I didn't even need to get into the situation in the first place, but it's just not not the most helpful. Incoming Brotherhood in. Well, we could beat Brotherhood in because we can activate Ezuri for millions. So I would love for them to Brotherhood end. That would be great for me. Yeah, simply play a little tighter, and then you just don't need to like make your deck a bit more win more. So we need our opponent to brick really hard on this round. Again, we could not combo because the way this deck works is you make tons and tons of mana, and then you untap your elves with your symbiotes and your Quirion Rangers, and then you untap your then you untap and attack with them. But because we had used all of our untap effects, and we were unable to attack. They couldn't flip Ral. I think that they are losing their flips. I'm not actually checking the log. Yeah, I think they. They're choosing not to flip Ral, which is probably wrong. Yeah, let's not play around them losing 12 more flips in a row. All right, Soulless Jailer. We have 3 of them for the Ruby Store matchup. Thinking also if we want Endurance. I mean, Endurance is pretty good against them. So it's pretty beatable if they have Ral, but if they're just on Ruby, it can be pretty good. Do I want a Rec Sage? Rec Sage is close. Like, let's see. I want to cut the Visionary. I want to cut the 4th Eladamri, 3rd Leaf Crown Visionary, 4th Quirion Ranger. Basically never cut Warmasters, especially on the Chord plan. I'll play just 1 Endurance, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably go down to 1 Ezuri again. Just don't really need to have 2. Sometimes I got the 6 Mystic. We'll just try that. I love Yavimaya, but it's such a liability. It is a pretty big liability, yeah. But it could be right to play. Okay, snapping this off. Yeah, it's not clear how much removal they'll have at post-board. One nice thing about Soulless Jailer is it stops them from casting anything off Rin's Resolve and Glimpse and stuff, and so the ability to just stop these cards from like drawing them into removal spells, I think is a really big deal. Which is why Soulless Jailer might be the best anti-storm sideboard card, and it's good against like a lot of the graveyard decks, or some of the graveyard decks too. It's good against Living End. Can you explain why Yavimaya is a liability? It can help your opponent, like especially against like Mono Green Tron or Amulet Titan. Like if they can tap their Saga for a green source and play Grazer, it's really, really tough. If they can tap their Urza's Tower and cast Ancient Stirrings, it's pretty bad. So I'm just going to have Chord for 2 available here. And so I'll respond to like a Rin's Resolve or draw spell with Soulless Jailer. And if not, I'll just get another Priest of Titania and win the game with that. I could have, I guess, Chorded for 3 like main phase. Like floated mana, then replay the forest, but... Seems better to have the ability to just untap and win versus Get a lock piece. They keep a card on top. I played a league with it, and it's helped opponent multiple times in the occurrence mentioned, but also helped the green-black deck resolve mana screw. Yeah, just I don't know. It's a liability for sure. Leading on Striker Rich is kind of weird. Okay, yeah, let's just win the game. Kind of nice to not show them Soulless Jailer yet either. They may like not think I have lock pieces and just go really hard. Also, I am only pretty sure I'm winning here for whatever that's worth. I guess Urborg is okay because the upside in coffers is so high. Yeah, I think so. But Urborg also like Urborg in coffers with the fields is really, really awkward because a lot of times you like run them out of basics, so they have no fetchables, but you have Urborg in play, so their fetches just still tap for black. This is like a pretty common problem. So +6/+6, yeah. So going to game 3. Going into game 3. Seeing that they are for sure on Static Prison, I like the Rec Sage. I think I want the first Force of Vigor on the draw against the Static Prison Ruby deck, and then I don't know if I want Spellskite or not, because like it's just like one-time stop the lock pieces, but I could just Chord for another Soulless Jailer instead. I don't know. Force of Vigor seems kind of crazy. I'm going to go down one Eladamri. Okay, well, I don't have any lands, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this hand. This hand can't put a lock piece into play, which makes the Force of Vigor a lot worse. I'm going to go to 5, I think, on the draw. This hand has a Soulless Jailer, so we're going to keep. I'm going to put back Ezuri and then second Chord of Calling. And hopefully can find some mana. The fact that this Pendelhaven is not a forest is kind of bad, because then it means Quirion Ranger isn't giving me extra mana. We don't have that many lands in the deck, but what's the point of Nettle Sentinel? So Nettle Sentinel is very good with Heritage Druid. This is one of your main mana engines. The other one is Priest of Titania and untapping it. But every time you tap it to Heritage Druid, you make mana, then you cast a spell and untap, so you get to go up on mana. Is the first Pinnacle Monk worth the Ruby Storm? It's better to just play Gigantha. Also, like your life loss in Ruby Storm matters a lot with Rao pinging you so much. But yeah, it's one of your main engines. But I'm maybe thinking about going for the turn 2. Maybe thinking about Static Prison on my Heritage Druid. So a land would be kind of crucial. At least second Heritage Druid means that any 1-mana elf I can start doing stuff. Tough mold to 5. I saw someone lose 12 flips yesterday. That is crazy. Tell them not to go to Vegas. Yeah, like if you could win 12 flips in a row, like at a blackjack table, you could be, you know, billionaire. They're gonna cast. I guess they're casting Flaged. Okay, so Flaged seems to be for the. Dude, Soulless Jailer doesn't stop Flage. Okay, people have been asking, Spike, what is Flage for in the Ruby Storm deck? I guess it's for the Elves matchup. Holy guacamole. It does. Players cannot cast permanent cards in graveyards. I always get so confused because it's permanent cards and then non-creature spells. So it says non-creature on it. Does stop the escape. But they're going to Manamorphose it out. It is, yeah. I think it's possible that Ruby Storm could be too good. I agree. It's very funny. I saw Todd tweet yesterday that Ruby Storm is almost good, and I was like, "What the heck are you playing, Todd?" That is so crazy. Yeah, what are the conversion rates in the challenges? I haven't been looking at those numbers. Have I seen the Jund Free Starter Valakut deck with Grazer Flare? I have not. No. What is the Black Splash just for pillage? It's gonna go Symbiote into Priest. Why has Ruby Storm gone Boros as far as green can deal with the lock pieces? I mean, Static Prison just gets rid of any lock piece. I think it seems a very reasonable direction to go. I'm still kind of liking the green splash. Black for interaction, so play more of a control-y shell. If this is Jeskai with okay. If this is Jeskai with Breathless Guys, we maybe move on. Doesn't seem to be the case. When is the challenge? Is it starting like 17 minutes? I kind of just want to stream like forever today. And I've been wanting to play Ruby Storm in a challenge. So I think I'm gonna queue up here. Still with the Wish build. With Wish over the White Splash. "15 Ruby Storms next 7 to challenge, 3 of them X-Dude, and then the rest did worse." Like yesterday I watched the Mavs game, and I'm just like, why am I not streaming right now? Still watching our boys lose. Oh cool, they're playing the Party Thrasher build. This matchup was pretty fun playing it on the other side. Back back playing Elves. Yeah, shout out Celtic fans. Seems fine to bounce the Sentinel to get the extra Warmaster down, and then the other Warmaster can go kind of. These can protect my Elves. I was like really coping that the Mavs could come back because they beat the Celtics by like 38. And I was like me and Esther we didn't like watch the whole any of the rest of the games of the whole series, but we're like 38. It could happen, and we we watched the whole thing, and it did not happen. It was not happening ever. It seems. Yeah, I know no team has ever come back. I know it's never happened, but I was just like that's why I was so excited to watch yesterday. I really felt like it could be it. Celtics sandbagged the game so they could win at home. The Celtics looked like such a well-oiled machine yesterday. They were just unstoppable. Also, the Mavs, like with peace and love, they were tired yesterday. Esther kept going, "Come on, guys! Come on, guys!" They were really not so tough. Fourth game blowout's pretty common. What is why is that the case? So we're probably getting Flame of a Nord here. Yeah, if only she was louder. Thoughts on Party Thrasher and Prowess? Card's like kind of slow and dirtily for an aggro deck, or for Prowess specifically. So I'm going to return my Warmaster in response. How'd the Blue Black Fairy Flare deck go? Not very well, unfortunately. It was pretty like cool and fun to build, but didn't seem to be very good. Okay, hopefully they don't have the second Spell Snare. So I want to try to go pretty wide here with the Warmasters. My kingdom for a Heritage Druid. That looks like. I mean, this one was hot. We played it this morning. I'm keeping it intact, but I want to. So like, I like this idea of either building around Aetherworks Marvel, Aether Revolt, or Primal Prayers with this like shell. Although we're cutting these puzzle knots. So like, I think like this is the start. We had four more lands, and then we pick one of those two cards to be more built around. I think it's probably has to be Aether Revolt. And like the idea of like Woodland being able to copy the 4-drop you're building around is pretty cool to me. Maybe we should do that instead of playing this long grindy match against blue-red. Yeah, then you get Unstable Amulet too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna concede and then let's focus on this. Because we also have we're playing a challenge with a Ruby Storm in 10 minutes. So we have 10 minutes to build